Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a get ready with me. I'm going to do my makeup and my hair with you. So I have a bunch of new high-end makeup that I wanted to try in a video. But before we do that, we are going to curl my hair. This is my hair just air dried. I washed it last night and that's it. I haven't done anything to it yet. So this portion of the video is sponsored by Beach Waver. And you guys, when I got the email to do this sponsorship, it was such a cool thing for me because I used to use the Beach Waver years ago. I used it when I was in college. I remember it. I had a really hot pink one. This was like 10 years ago. I had it and I loved it. I used it every time I curled my hair, and I'm so excited to have it again and use it again. So if you're not familiar with the Beach Waver, it looks like this. It was created by Sarah Potempa, who is a celebrity hairstylist. And basically it's a curling iron that rotates itself with the press of a button. So it has a clamp like normal, like you see on a lot of curling irons. But what makes it different is it has these two arrows here. So it has an arrow to rotate this way, an arrow to rotate the other way. You can control the heat setting down here. So there's a low, medium, and a hot heat setting. I have mine on the medium right now. Before we go in and get started, I'm gonna take their Great Barrier Heat Protectant hairspray. So this is kind of a two-in-one. Obviously it protects your hair from heat damage, which is great, but it also has that hold to it since it is a hairspray as well. So it kind of does both things. It helps your hair keep the curl and it helps your hair or prevent it from being damaged by the heat, which is great. So I'm gonna spray my hair with this. You could spray your whole head at one time. I typically don't do that. I like to spray each section at a time because I'm just afraid if I do my whole head at once, I have so much hair that I won't get my whole head. I just know that I won't. So I usually do it in sections, and this stuff smells so good. I don't know what it smells like, but what it reminds me of is Victoria's Secret from like years ago, back when I actually worked at Victoria's Secret for quite a few years. And I remember when I was working there, there was one year where Beach Waver is what they used for the Victoria's Secret fashion show. If you know what I'm talking about, comment below. But I remember I was so excited because I had the same curling iron as the people or the Victoria's Secret models. So we're gonna start on this side of my head. So I'm gonna take maybe a little too much, like a 1-inch section of hair. I'm gonna take the curling iron facing this way with the clamp facing out. Okay, so I am gonna put the clamp all the way down my hair, but I'm gonna leave some hair out at the end. Then I wanna wrap away from my face. So I'm gonna use this button here. So going the opposite direction, curl the hair, leave it there for however long, press the clamp, open it up, and slide the hair out. Now, obviously, the longer you hold it in there, the more of a curl, or the more curled your hair will get, but I want just like a loose beach wave. Okay, so let's do it again. I'm gonna take my section, go pretty far down, press the arrow, and let it sit for a minute. Open it up and slide it out. So now we're moving to the other side. So again, I have my barrel facing this way with the clamp facing this way. I'm going to go far down. I wouldn't clamp your ends because you don't want to damage your hair. I'm going to use the other arrow and curl. Let it sit and release. So open the clamp, clamp the hair, press the arrow. So I'm on the right side of my head, so I am using the right arrow. So if that makes more sense in your brain, that's how I do it. I just use the arrow of the side of my head that I'm curling. And then open it up, and there you go. And the Beach Waver is a ceramic curling iron, which is the best for your hair. So with that and the heat protectant spray, keeps your hair from being damaged. I'm gonna spray. This spray, I wish I knew what the smell was, but it reminds me of Victoria's Secret for some reason. I don't know if it's a smell from back when I worked there that it reminds me of, but every time I've used it, that's what I think of. It's Victoria's Secret. Got our clamp all the way down. Obviously, I have to pull mine down pretty far because my hair is really long. Pressing the left arrow, and it curls all the way up. And open it up. And I don't know if I said this or not, but obviously it curls, or it keeps curling as long as you're pressing the button. If you want it to stop curling, then you just stop pressing the button. So if you want to get it in a specific spot, you can just tap the button or press it down all the way up. It's totally up to you. But basically you're in control of the curl. And slide it out. So it's super easy. That's pretty much it. I do the same thing all over my head, so I'm going to finish the rest of my hair. So I've curled my whole head and I haven't touched it. This is just how it looks right after I finish curling. Now I'm gonna take a big wide tooth comb. So this is the Beach Waver comb, and you can either just go right in on your hair and brush it out if you want, but they actually recommend spraying this heat protectant hairspray on the comb and then brushing it out. So we're gonna do that. So I just sprayed the comb and we will now brush it out. This is the best part. And you're left with this beautiful, voluminous wave. And that is it. Those are the waves from the Beach Waver. So I do have a code to get you 20% off the Beach Waver website. I believe it's Blair 20. I will put it up on the screen for you and I will have everything linked below. But if you want to get yourself something to give you these really big loose waves, the Beach Waver is awesome. Thank you to them for collaborating with me on this portion of the video. And let's go ahead and get into the makeup. Let's go ahead and get started. I have so much new makeup to try, and today we're focusing on more high-end makeup, so I cannot wait. I've been waiting to try these things. So the first thing we're gonna do is try a new foundation, and the one that I caved and bought is this one, the Gucci Breathable Foundation Luminous Matte Finish. Okay, I have never tried the original Gucci foundation. The only things I've tried from Gucci are the bronzer and the blushes. I've never tried any of their foundations before, so I'm really excited to try this out. I did pull this out of the box the other day just to see what the packaging looks like, and I love this packaging. It's like a frosted glass bottle, gold Gucci writing, and then this is like a light, kind of a greenish yellow color lid. The pump is gold. I don't know. I just really like the packaging. I have the shade 160N, and this was kind of hard to pick. I didn't go in store and see this. I just went by what I saw online. So fingers crossed this is okay. I mean, it looks like it's going to be all right, but we'll see. So this is 160N. So it's pretty liquidy, and they do say, looking at the box here, this is supposed to be a 24-hour wear with no transfer, full coverage, weightless, breathable texture, comfort and hydration, shine control, and a luminous matte finish, which anytime something is described as luminous matte, I think it's interesting. So let's try it out. I'm not going to use any primers today, so I just have my normal skincare underneath. Okay, it does have the Gucci fragrance, which I assumed that it would. I'm gonna use a freshly washed brush. So I'm gonna use this Makeup by Mario brush, and I am just gonna start tapping this in. I still have some left on the back of my hand too. This was just one pump of foundation. And I normally do my under eye corrector before I do foundation, but I was too excited today, so we'll do that afterwards. And I'm using this Makeup by Mario brush. This is actually his new brush that came out with his foundation. So I actually think the color is pretty good, which is nice. I'm gonna grab some more that's on the back of my hand already and see if we can build this up, because they do say that this is full coverage. Okay, I definitely do think it's buildable for sure. I'm gonna add a little bit more to this side to even it out. I'm gonna go ahead and use what is left on the back of my hand and bring it down my neck. Yeah, this matches my neck pretty well, so I think this is actually a pretty decent shade match considering I just had to guess. So it looks really weird because I don't have anything under my eyes. Normally I do. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce over it with a damp sponge. So this is one full pump of the foundation. Okay, I definitely can see where the luminous matte claim is coming from, although I will say it definitely leans more matte to me than luminous. I do think my skin has just a little bit of a luminous quality to it, and I don't have any primer on or anything underneath. In fact, my skincare has been on for quite a while before I started filming this video, so I didn't have anything super dewy or glowy underneath. So this is really just on top of my skin that's been sitting for a while. Looks pretty good. I do think, and I don't know if it'll show up, I feel like it looks a little bit dry around like my mouth area, but I mean, it's laying nicely over my skin. It's weird for me. I feel like when I use things that lean more on the matte side, just because I don't typically go super matte with products, so I'm not really used to seeing my skin look like that. But I do think it looks a little bit dry around my mouth, which is interesting because I don't normally feel that way. But the coverage is really good. Looks pretty good, you guys. It's a lot of coverage. So this would, I would assume, not be like an everyday foundation for me personally. But so far it looks good. It matches my neck, so I think the shade match is pretty good if you are a similar skin tone to me. I don't have a new color corrector, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, and then I'll come back and we do have a new concealer that I'm so excited to try. So I applied my corrector under my eyes. I used Charlotte Tilbury in shade number 2. We're gonna try the new, it's not new, but it's newly formulated, the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. I have tried this a long time ago before they reformulated it. And then they recently, I don't know what they did to it exactly, but I know it's a different formula than the first one. So it looks like this. It's very nice, like heavy packaging. I think originally they had the name like down the side on the original packaging, but is this glass? It almost feels glass. Yeah, it's very, very nice. But I have the shade 1CR. This is a different shade than I've had before. I think the last time I had it, I had 1.5 neutral. I didn't love that shade. I do remember that. So the doe foot looks like this, pretty similar, I want to say, to the original. And I believe this is supposed to be a full coverage. Yes, 24-hour wear and hydration, creamy concealer, full coverage. So let's try it out. I'm gonna start with that. And well, I'm gonna put just a little bit on this outer corner. I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 110 brush to blend this out. I feel like when I had this a long time ago, I remember they also claimed that it was full coverage, and I feel like I want to say I didn't think it was a full coverage concealer, but I could be wrong about that, but for some reason that's like popping into my mind. Okay, so a little bit definitely goes a long way. Like that bit that I put in the inner corner really spread across my eye. The color I think is actually pretty good. I went for a cooler, rosier tone this time since I'm kind of finding under my eyes I like that undertone a little bit better usually, even though I normally go neutral to a little bit warmer on my face. But so far that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. It's not creasing. It does look hydrating, but not greasy or oily or anything like that. Like it's not looking like a concealer that slides around a lot. I kind of want to test how this color does on my face, to be honest. Oh, let's just take a little bit on my cheeks. I just kind of want to see how it blends into my skin, just out of curiosity. Because even when I just put this on, I don't feel like it looked super cool toned, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna actually flip the Makeup by Mario brush over to the smaller side and blend this in. That. Okay, I did end up getting the new Milk Makeup Sculpt Stick in the shade Toasted. I kind of held off on this when it first came out, but then I started kind of seeing more and more about it. I started seeing people use it that I follow, and I was just intrigued because I do like the Milk Makeup bronzer stick and baked. I love that formula. I love the color. There it is. I want to see actually how this compares, this color compares to Biscuit from Westman Atelier. That's what I was kind of curious about because it does look like a really nice tone. So that is the Milk one. Let me actually go grab the Westman Atelier. Yeah, I just kind of want to test them out next to each other just to see. So this is the shade Biscuit. Okay, Biscuit to me almost looks warmer. Yeah, I feel like the Milk one looks more gray. The Biscuit color, still a cooler tone, but a little bit warmer. Okay, so we're gonna do this side first, and then I'm using the 109 from BK Beauty to blend this in. Blended really, really well. Yeah, so this is definitely more cool toned, more of a contour for sure, which makes sense because they say it's a sculpting stick. I think that's one of the things I love so much about the Westman Atelier and Biscuit is I feel like I get a bronze and a contour with that shade, which is really nice. This one, I think definitely more on the contour side, but blended really nicely. Okay, I'm gonna take the 109 from BK Beauty on this side and just stipple it on. I was also kind of considering getting the new Tower 28. Is it called the Sculptino, I think? That's like their version. I feel like everyone's coming out with bronzers. Bronzer and blush right now. I feel like everyone is launching them, which is kind of interesting. I feel like that's usually more of like a summer kind of launch, but it seems like everybody is doing it right now. Okay, so far, yes, love this color. It's just not a bronzer. I would probably still add bronzer with this, but I do like it. I'm actually glad that it's different from Biscuit, because after I ordered this, I was thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that because it might be exactly like Biscuit, but it's not. Oh yeah, you guys, that is a really nice color. Love that. If you're around my skin tone and you want something that's a little more of a contouring shade, I bet you would like this. Anyway, what I was saying is Milk also just came out with some new blush shades as well. I didn't get any of those, but I really like their cheek formula. Okay, for blush, you guys, I told you, I think I now am addicted to this brand. I'm sorry to say, Westman Atelier. I got another one of the blushes because I have the shade Petal, which I love, but I got this one and it's gonna scare you at first, but just wait. So it looks like this. It's this really bright pink, and I know it looks scary, but I think this is gonna be one of those shades that looks really scary, and then when you apply it, you realize it's not really, but it's a beautiful, cooler toned, like almost like a magenta pink. Anyway, I got this and I really want to try it. So I'm gonna start, since this color is really bright, I'm gonna get it off the back of my hand first and kind of work it onto that brush. So this is the same 109 from BK Beauty. And just start tapping it in. Yeah, do you see? When you apply it this way, it's actually not scary. So good. If you like these pinky, like vibrant tones, you'll love this. Kind of similar to, if you know the Dibs Beauty duos, the bronzer blush duos. She makes one, I think it's shade number 6, that the blush is a really, really bright pink. That's what this one reminds me of. But yes, love that color. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I would say this is a really good way to apply a shade like this if it scares you. Get some on the back of your hand and then work it into your brush. I know this brush is out of stock right now, I'm sorry. It is coming back. They did tell me that, but I think it's out of stock right now. But this is a really good way to wear a more like intense blush color if it intimidates you. Told you guys, I think I now have a Westman Atelier problem because now I want to try everything. Now we have a new highlight, and this is also from Westman Atelier. If you've watched my live videos, I've done a few of them now. There was one live I did, and several of you told me that I needed this product. And I've had it in my Sephora cart since then. It's expensive, so I didn't end up buying it until recently because I needed some retail therapy. So this is what it looks like. It comes in this little pouch. This is the super loaded tinted highlight in Peau de Peche. Probably saying that wrong, but when I tell you this is like a paperweight. That's how heavy this is. But anyway, so many of you told me that this was like holy grail status for you. And I'm kind of nervous because the color, I don't know, the color looks a little bit dark to me, but so many of you told me that you love this. So online it says this is a multi-purpose cream highlighter that gives the skin a luminous glow in 3 universal shades. It's called Super Loaded for a reason, has skin nourishing ingredients and treatment benefits. The multi-purpose highlighter delivers a beautiful boost of glowing, clean color. So I'm thinking I'm going to use this small side of the Makeup by Mario. Okay, yeah, so it's not like a blinding highlight. It's very like subtle looking. It gives noticeable glow, but it's like a lit from within kind of glow. It's not like, oh, she's wearing highlighter kind of glow. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna put some on my nose. Ooh, you guys, that is really pretty. I think I went a little too ham on my nose, but do you see that? Yeah, and I know it's from that because the blush does not have glow in it. The contour did not have glow in it, and the foundation was not super, super glowy. So I know it has to be from that highlight. Okay, yeah, that is stunning. Love that. You guys did not steer me wrong. If you are one of the people that told me I needed this, comment down below and let me know. I know several of you on my live a few months ago told me that you love this. Let's do a little check-in on how my skin's looking. Honestly, everything so far looks really nice together. Love the blush, love the contour, love the highlight. The cheeks, definite wins with those products so far. My skin looks good. Yeah, my skin looks good. I do think the foundation looks a little bit heavy. I mean, not bad, like, oh gosh, that looks terrible kind of heavy, but I do think it looks a little bit on the heavy side, mainly like right in this area. But again, I don't think this would be like an everyday foundation for me, just based on my first impression of it, but it's nice. And my under eyes look okay. I have to say I'm not obsessed now that that concealer's been sitting there for a minute. It looks fine, but I don't know that I'm like over the moon excited about the concealer. So I have another product from Westman Atelier. I know you guys, I really went ham with this brand. I don't have an excuse. I just did. So this is the Vital Pressed Skincare Powder in the shade Pink Bubble. Oh, I know what it was. I saw Martina Lily here on YouTube using this the other day, and I decided that I needed to try it. So it comes in a little pouch like the highlight does, and this one is gold. The packaging is gold, but look at this light pink powder. Look at this, you guys. So what I wanted this for was my under eyes. I really wanted to try this as an under eye setting powder and see how it compares to like Huda Cupcake or Givenchy Prisme Libre powder, those kinds of things. So I have a new little triangle puff here from Amazon. I'm going to go over my under eyes with the sponge really quick. I mean, I wish you guys, if you have a Sephora near you that has the Westman Atelier products, I don't have one near me that has that brand in store. The weight on these, it reminds me of the Victoria Beckham packaging. They are very heavy and nice feeling. But let's go in and try this powder. So I'm gonna get some on the little puff. So I've got some kind of fully coated on there. I normally kind of tap it on the palm of my hand just to get off any excess. And now I'm gonna press this under my eyes and kind of bring it down the side of my nose. All right, so this side has the pink powder, this side does not. It definitely noticeably like mattified that area for sure. And I feel like it doesn't look pink under my eyes. What do you think? But I did a good job kind of smoothing it out under there. Let's do the other eye. And I almost wonder if I should try a brush on the other eye. Let's use this Morphe Ariel brush and just see. This is a pressed powder. Sometimes pressed powders I find work a little bit better with a brush, but let's try it. Okay, yeah, you guys, I'm actually feeling like I like this side better with the brush. So maybe just that formula works better with a brush. Also, it could be the concealer. If I don't absolutely love the concealer, that could also be a factor. But yeah, I feel like this side looks the best with the brush. I'll have to keep you guys updated on this. I obviously want to try it out with a bunch of other things, but let me know if you've tried this. Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and fill in my brows off camera. I don't have any new brow products to try, and then we will move on to the, okay, so I did my brows, I put on some eye primer, and now we're going to try out something I have wanted for such a long time, and I finally got it. I'm so excited to try it, and it's the Tom Ford Cream and Powder Eye Color in the shade Naked Bronze. This has been on my wish list for years and years and years and years, and finally I got it. So this is what it looks like. So you have a like topper shade on this side or under the lid, and then you unscrew it and you have the cream shadow under here. I will insert swatches here for you so you can see a little bit better, but I mean, look at this color, you guys. So that is just the cream, like just the tiniest bit of the cream blended out. How beautiful is that? I mean, I barely tapped anything into it. And then let me swatch the glitter topper as well. So that is the glitter topper. I mean, this is just so right up my alley. I have tried a Tom Ford cream shadow, like one of the singles. I still have it. I love it. I got it a little over a year ago, probably, at the cosmetics company store. And that's like one of my biggest tips for Tom Ford makeup is look at a cosmetics company store before you buy it full price, because usually you can find his stuff there. It's kind of hit or miss, and it depends on the store and the time that you're checking, but definitely check there. Let's go into this color. I don't want to get too much, but I just kind of want to apply this on the lid and just kind of bring it up a little bit and just kind of blend it out. Also, just want like a light wash of this color. Look how pretty. And that's just one cream shadow and not very much of it. Honestly, these would probably apply really well with your finger also. I just kind of wanted to use a brush because I feel like I have the most control over it that way. I'm actually gonna grab this brush. This is a concealer brush. It's the F03 from Sigma. And I went a little crazy over here on the sides. So I'm just gonna take what's on this brush and kind of go over the edges just to kind of diffuse the color just a little bit. So pretty. I think these come in another shade as well. It's like a peachier shade, but I'm gonna take the topper now. And oh my gosh, look at that, you guys. This is gold, but it almost has like a little bit of a green undertone to it. Oh my goodness. I feel like it looks a lot more complicated than it actually is, but this is just a product that I've wanted for so long, and that is so pretty. Okay, I'm actually gonna take, I think, actually probably don't need to get any more. I was gonna say I'm gonna put a little bit on my lower lash line, but I think I'm just gonna use that 217 from MAC and just put what's left down here. That is all I'm gonna do on the eyes. I don't think I really need anything else. Let's see. I might take, this is not brand new. Well, it's new, but it's not like part of this haul or anything, but I might take a little bit of the Victoria Beckham bronzer. I've been absolutely loving mine since I got it. I've been using it a ton. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of both shades actually, and just run a little bit of this through my crease. And I have shade number 2 in this bronzer. And then I'm also gonna take a little bit of the bronzer on my face as well. And I'm using the 111 from BK Beauty. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of this to the perimeter of my face just to add a little more of a bronze tone to kind of match the eyes, since that milk stick is on the cooler side. Still loving this bronzer so much. Now, I don't have a new mascara, so I'm gonna do that quickly off camera, and then I'll come back and we will finish up with a few new lip products. Okay, last for the lips, we're gonna use the Kevyn Aucoin lip definer in the shade Minimal. I've had this for a little while now, but I haven't used it yet. This is what it looks like. I've always heard that this is a beautiful, like, rosy shade, which is exactly what I love in a lip liner. And then it does have this, like, brush on the other end. So we'll try this. Yeah, so this is like my exact lip tone, just a little bit darker. So it's more of a dry formula. It's like that typical or classic wooden pencil, but it goes on really easily. I'm gonna take a little brush and kind of go around the edges. I love the color though. Okay, and then over the top of that, one more product from Westman Atelier, because I just lost my mind over it. This is the Squeaky Clean Liquid Lip Balm in the shade Nana. And oh my gosh, you guys, even this comes in a little pouch. I saw Andrea Ali here on YouTube using this, and I just love her so much. So it's this all black package, and you can kind of see the color through it right there. But she was saying that she thought this shade in particular would work for everybody, and oh my gosh, look at this color, you guys. It's like a milky nude with a little bit of pink. So let's try it. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, this feels like a balm, like a really hydrating lip balm, like almost like Aquaphor, but a little bit thicker. Oh wow, yeah, that is super nice. And that color, I feel like I'll use this a lot because it goes with everything, but oh wow. All right, you guys, that is gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed getting ready with me and doing our hair and trying some new makeup. I wanted to quickly go over the products that we tried and just kind of give you my initial thoughts on them. So first up, the foundation. Okay, it's been on now. We applied that at the very beginning of the video. That's been about like an hour ago now. And we also did not set the face with powder. I did set under my eyes like you saw with the Westman Atelier powder, but I did not set the rest of my face. It just didn't look like it needed it to me. But I have to say, overall, my skin looks very good with this foundation. It looks smooth, definitely not texture enhancing at all. I definitely do still think though, as I was saying earlier, definitely leans more on the matte side. I mean, I think it's slightly luminous, like very, very slightly, but it's mainly a matte, like a soft matte foundation with just like a subtle radiance to it. The coverage is pretty good. It's very good. Definitely buildable, so I do agree with that. And I think this is a pretty like special occasion foundation for sure. I am gonna wear this all day long, and I will make sure to put any like wear notes in the description box with the foundation, but I do think it looks nice. I like it so far. I don't know that it's on like my NARS light reflecting level, but it's very hard to get to that level with me, so I need to keep trying it. But so far, pretty good. The concealer, I like it. I don't love it though, and I'm kind of having like deja vu. I feel like long ago when I had this concealer the first time, I kind of felt the same way about it. It's a nice concealer, but it's not like mind-blowingly nice. And I also don't think it's full coverage. I said that earlier, and now I'm kind of thinking the same thing. I have color corrector on underneath it, but even with that over the top, I don't feel like my under eyes are like intense full coverage at the moment. But not a bad concealer, but I don't know that I could say you like absolutely need to try it. Let's see, what else do we try? The Milk Sculpting Stick. Really liked this. Hands down, if you're around my skin tone, fair to light skin tone, I think if you want a contour shade, these are very nice. Blended easily. It's a beautiful color. Definitely very cool tone though. So if you're not looking for a cool tone, definitely stay away from these. I do think like Biscuit, as you saw in the swatches earlier, is a little bit warmer, but I liked it. It blended easily. I enjoyed it, so that is good. The blush I love. I knew I was gonna love it because I have Petal already and I love it. So the blush, yes, it's a bright color, but I just love that bright poppy pink right now. That's what I'm very much into. The highlight. Okay, the highlight I'm very surprised by because I was a little concerned. Like I said, it looks kind of dark in the pan, but then when you put it on, it's just like the most natural looking highlight. It's not glittery. It is literally just a glow on your face. It looks like you have been out in the sun and you have just like a little bit of radiance on your cheekbones. That's what it looks like. Love it. I want to try it on the eyes too, since apparently you can do that. The under eye powder, again, I like it. I am not like blown away by it, but I am wondering if it's from the concealer underneath. I would like to try that powder again with some of my other concealers and just see. It's a very expensive powder though, so I don't think that you need to spend the money on a very expensive powder. I have a lot of them that I love that are not that expensive. I just wanted to try it mainly because it's pink and it's Westman Atelier, but I will keep you updated when I try it with other things. Okay, the Tom Ford eyeshadow, 10 out of 10. Love it. I knew I was gonna love that though. I've had it on my list forever, like I said, and I love it. I mean, it's 2 shades and it's so beautiful. I feel like it looks a lot, like I did a lot more to my eyes than I actually did. And then when I put a little bit of that Victoria Beckham bronzer in the crease, it just kind of pulled everything together. But I personally am very happy with this purchase. They're very expensive, but I feel like I will definitely use this quite a bit. So that is a win. And the lip combo, fantastic. The standout of the 2 things is probably this Westman Atelier. You guys, I don't even know how to describe how this feels, but it feels incredible. It is not sticky, but it feels extremely hydrating, like Aquaphor, but a little bit thicker and tackier, but not sticky with color. That's what I would compare it to. And the lip liner looks beautiful with it. It's just a lip liner, obviously, but I do like the color and it applied really well. I hope you enjoyed the video. I did want to thank Beach Waver for partnering with me on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I created these curls using my Beach Waver. I do have a discount code that I will list below. It's Blair20, and that will get you 20% off the website. So thank you to them, and yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already. I have so many new videos coming, you guys. So much is coming that I'm excited about, and I hope you are too. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1, and I will see you next time for another video. Remember, simply be you. Bye.